Hey everybody, Spencer here with another video. Today talking about something I was not planning on doing, but the first Nintendo Direct of 2022 hit me so hard that I felt the need to not only do a reaction video to it, but also make a video kind of discussing why I think this was not only an amazing Nintendo Direct, just kind of like breaking down my highlights of like, this for me is... when they're like, why are you ever excited for like these shows like this? It's for shows like this. And this was like, obviously it's all subjective. People can kind of view one way or the other, but something about this Nintendo Direct really resonated with me in a crazy way. Like, it was just one of those things of like, it started strong, it ended strong, it had a lot of nostalgia bait, and really did a lot for me. So we're going to go in chronological order. I'm not going to talk about every single thing that was announced, or like sizzle reel, but like, there's a lot of big stuff here, and kind of talk about reasons why I'm really excited about it. So first up is Fire Emblem Warriors is finally getting a sequel. It is releasing in almost 4 months. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, which is insane to me for multiple reasons. The original Fire Emblem Warriors is actually the very first Fire Emblem game I ever played. I played it on Switch, really liked it. I thought the characters were fun, the story was great. It was a nice evolution on what Hyrule Warriors had started, and obviously if anyone knows me, you know I like a lot of Koei Tecmo and Omega Force games. But what's funny about this is I have no nostalgia of Fire Emblem at all. I like playing the characters in Smash Brothers, I like Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and I like Fire Emblem Warriors, but I've never actually played from beginning to end a complete Fire Emblem game. And Three Houses getting a sequel, kind of, but a alternate story retelling similar to a Age of Calamity with Fire Emblem Warriors 2 is just so crazy to me. Weirdly enough, this getting a sequel announced has actually really made me kind of think about, like, I should probably pick up Three Houses. I like a lot of the ideas of what's going on there. I know it won't be necessary to enjoy the game, but it's like, let's check this out probably. And it might be one of those situations of, I don't know if I'll have time from now till June, just because the next couple of weeks in games are going to be absolutely insane. But it's got me really interested. I'm excited for it. In terms of a warrior, we saw a good amount of gameplay. It looks noticeably better than Fire Emblem Warriors, which you would hope. That game's literally almost 5 years old this year. But looks really good. It's got a lot of production value into it. The map already gives me Age of Calamity vibes, and with the roster I already know is there from Three Houses, this has a lot of potential to be really solid, so I'm excited about it. I hope they've touched up their performance. Obviously, then the worry is kind of, okay, it's on the Switch, so it's going to be a little bit more limited. The next worry is going to be, oh god, if it's on the Switch... how's it going to be? Because while I love Age of Calamity, it's like one of my favorite Warriors games of all time, it's easily one of the most technically like compromised ones of the probably like PlayStation 4 era to now. So Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, not 3 Houses, 3 Hopes, very excited, cannot believe it comes out quickly. Very much in. I'm in. And this is the kind of surprise like I want. Like when people are like, hey, do you want a new Fire Emblem game announced? I'm like, I don't care. I'm not. I mean, I got a lot of games, but like, this is what I want. So that made me very excited. Next up, sticking with Intelligent Systems with the Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. This is a weird one of like, I think this game's kind of run out of steam, but I'm glad it was included in the Direct. It showed off a lot of good stuff, including online and offline multiplayer, making your maps, showing a lot of really nice quality of life stuff. Like, this to me feels like this is going to be WayForward's first real big hit. Obviously, it helps that it's a Nintendo IP and Nintendo's publishing it, but this to me really feels like, hey, WayForward really shines in a lot of these aspects, and I think this remake is really going to shine. I am excited for it. I loved playing Advance Wars, mostly on the GBA. I played, I think, one of them on the DS, but Advance Wars 1 and 2, I've been ready for you since December. You're going to be great in April. You didn't need to be in this Direct. I think it would have been great if there was a demo, especially since Advance Wars has been silent for so long, but this has easily justified its purchase to me already, so I was very fine with that. No Man's Sky coming to it. Cool. Honestly, the most impressive thing I can say about this is I cannot believe it is not a cloud version. No Man's Sky has had a lot of really cool updates, so that's really, really fun, but not really a lot to say there. That's one of those, oh, cool, neat, and I'm never really going to think about it again. Unlike our next game. Our next game, I cannot believe, Mario Strikers is back. Next level, them getting bought finally paid off. I'm sorry, Luigi's Mansion 3 fans, I'm sure it's a fine game, but I have such a weird nostalgia on GameCube specifically, and a little bit on the Wii, but the fact that Mario Strikers is coming back to the Switch gets me really excited. Battle League looks really great. The local multiplayer 4v4 is really fun. It looks great. I love they kept the art style. The one worry I would say, and I think a lot of people are having this, is will this finally beat the Nintendo Sport, like the Nintendo Mario Sport curse? Which is kind of weird because it's not really something that gets talked about a lot. But like you look at Mario Tennis, you look at Mario Golf, and all of those games had really strong premises, really great developers, really compromised in terms of not a lot of content there, very light. It's a little iffy in terms of its overall product quality. This, thankfully, is a different developer. I really hope that Next Level, they've had almost 3 years to develop this. This looks great. It's got a really interesting thing. The gear, I hope it doesn't become too tedious. Like, obviously, you still want this to be pick-up-and-play friendly, but for someone who very, very rarely likes soccer video games, I like watching soccer, and I think soccer is an awesome sport, but it doesn't always translate to video games. I just think this, with the World Cup, and obviously the Switch is really, really big, Mario is really, really big, I think this could be great as long as it beats that curse. If this is a big game, if this has a lot of maps, if this has a lot of characters, a lot of stuff to unlock, a fun single-player campaign, have some fun with this game. Please let the online be good, but it's Nintendo. I'm not holding my breath. I'll immediately, though, give one complaint. Have more than 20 people in a club. That is the weirdest thing. Like, why are there only 20 people? Like, it's the games are 5v5, but you can only do 8-player multiplayer. So why is it 20 people in an online... Like, it's very weird, but again, Nintendo doing weird stuff. Not that surprising. But, yeah. Mario Strikers being back, did not expect it. I always wanted it. Next Level Games, I'm so excited. Please, June 10th, cannot get here soon enough. Now, next up is going to be Splatoon, and this one's been kind of weird. So for me, and all my friends who I watched this with, we were freaking out about Salmon Run coming back. Salmon Run is the player versus enemy, kind of like Horde mode from Splatoon 2, where it was you against a bunch of fish having to collect as many eggs as you could, and the whole point of the game was basically just to survive, get all the fish eggs, and not die before all of your lives were gone. It was really great in Splatoon 2. There was a couple of problems. You can only play it online. There was no offline or single-player only version of it, which I think really hampered the experience. And they never updated it. There were never new maps. There was always new maps and stuff for multiplayer, but this PvE version just completely got abandoned. So the fact that Salmon Run is coming back gets me really, really excited. And it's so funny, like, these features that are there don't sound huge, but, like, having new types of enemies, having new bosses, having the ability just to throw fish eggs is a really, really big deal. Really, really, like, game-changer stuff there. And I hope that Splatoon 3 is just kind of on its way to success of, like, learn everything from Splatoon 2, because Splatoon 2 was just everything in Splatoon 1 great, cranked up to 10. Fix those handful of flaws from Splatoon 2, and this could be something really, really special. Like, I really, really love Splatoon 2. I'm not a huge fan of shooters normally, but this concept, the characters, the setting, it's all really, really fun, and everything I saw with Salmon Run just made me so much more excited. Obviously, if you're not a fan of co-op, I can see it not really doing a lot for you, but considering they've already committed to, you know it's going to be great multiplayer, the map design and everything looks great, you know the single player is going to be interesting and out there, them reinforcing the co-op just really makes this a reminder that, like, hey, Splatoon has the ability to be a triple threat. Obviously, it's a huge seller, but I love when a game really succeeds, and this kind of brings back to, like, when I would be really excited for certain Call of Duty releases. I love when a game has a solid single-player, co-op, and multiplayer, because then it's like there's no reason for me to ever put it down. And so, Splatoon 3, I can't wait for your date. Salmon Run looks great. Please keep updating Salmon Run, and don't stop being weird, because I love how weird Splatoon gets. Next one's a kind of a quickie. So Front Mission 1 is a remake by Forever Entertainment. Most of you will not know Forever Entertainment. They've done a bunch of indie games. They've done a bunch of remakes. They've worked on the Panzer Dragoon remake. They're working on the Panzer Dragoon Order remake now. They are working on House of the Dead. I think it's 2 and 3 remake, or maybe 1 and 2. They do a ton of big remakes, but they have very low budget. This one's interesting because obviously they're working with Square Enix, and Front Mission has a very, very long history with Square Enix, but has not really gotten the most respect. This remake looks about what I would expect. It keeps a lot of that original art. The way it feels, the way it plays, this feels like the right amount of low budget. This seems like a good $25 to $30 remake. I'm excited for the first one. I'm not sold because Forever Entertainment is known for their stuff being a little janky at launch, so it's kind of a wait and see, but I'm excited that not only the first one's coming, but the second one. Disney Racers, I'm just going to say this, just made me sad because people thought, oh hey, this looks like Disney Infinity, and then it reminds me it's not Disney Infinity. Free-to-play is interesting, cross every platform, multiplayer and progression is interesting. Free-to-play should make me excited, but because the developer's Gameloft just makes me think it's going to be really bad. So, not a lot to really say there. Oh my gosh. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I know why you're the Wii version. I don't like that you're the Wii version. The fact that you are only keeping it in for the motion controls and the 1v1 dueling mode is a weird choice, Asper Media, but I fully expect you to make the PS3 or 360 or PC version available eventually. I have a really big nostalgia kick for Force Unleashed, as not only a Star Wars fan, but that was when I think, if you remember in 2008 or whatever year it was it came out, there was a large amount of interest. Force Unleashed was a kind of weird game for that, but again, the Wii version's a weird choice. Not a lot of people are going to really check that out. Assassin's Creed coming to Switch. Hey, if you've never played Assassin's Creed 2 or its trilogy, it's one of the best games in the series. They look very bad by today's standards, but they're awesome games, amazing soundtracks, really fun stories. SD Gundam. I could probably say a lot more about this, but I'll just say, hey, it's cool that Namco Bandai is actually now putting Gundam games that were already ported to consoles in Asia on something in the West that's not just Steam. I would like for this to be more of a thing of, hey, we shouldn't be surprised when these finally come out, blah, blah, blah. But SD Gundam, I'm always excited for it. I'm very excited for it. Not as excited as the next game, though. Okay, so I'm a child of the 90s. I'm a very big RPG fan. I'm a big Square Enix lover. And I knew through all the conversations and the leaks and all the NVIDIA stuff, I've been aware that Chrono Cross was getting a remaster. I would never in a million years would have guessed that Chrono Cross was coming back to all platforms, looks so nice as it did, and is actually going to be bundled with Radical Dreamers, which was a Japanese exclusive Satellaview game, and I'm so excited. I really hope this runs well. I really hope that this is great. I hope the additions to the music are overall very, very positive. $20 seems perfect for this. This definitely is up there of this is like the Final Fantasy VIII remaster, or those other PlayStation 1 ports you saw with Final Fantasy 7 or 9, just getting their PC port version put over. But Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition, comes out really, really soon, April 7th. It's $20. It's going to be on everything. Please check it out. It looks so good. Chrono Cross is a really special game. It's got an amazing soundtrack. It's got an amazing cast of characters. Really, really underrated. Even if you are tangentially aware of it, obviously it will never get as much praise as the original one, Chrono Trigger, but Chrono Cross coming back. Very excited. Cannot say enough good things. Now, next up, again, kind of like SD Gundam, where I could say a whole lot of stuff about it. Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, I'm just going to say this. Looks great. It's the first time since Kirby Epic Yarn I'm actually excited for a Kirby game. I'm going to buy this at launch. I haven't done that with a game since Kirby Epic Yarn. And, yeah, the mouthful mode is really funny, but, all memes aside, it looks just really good. It looks like a really interesting setting, all the characters, the enemy designs. It looks great. It looks really fun. It's coming out super, super soon. It felt like when it got announced it was coming out really soon, but now that we're literally a month and a half away from it, I'm very, very excited, and God only knows what Kirby's going to wrap his mouth around in this game, so it's going to be so weird, but I'm all here for it. Next up was MLB The Show. This is a weird one, so obviously I'm a big PlayStation fan, and I do like baseball, and I do actually really like the show. I've been out of playing the show dedicatedly maybe since like 2015, pretty much when they dropped the Vita support. I stopped playing the show. I really liked playing it on the go, so that's why I thought it was so interesting that with Sony announcing the show was coming to the Switch this year, I was like, they'd be so smart if it was on the Direct, and I'm so glad it was. Hilariously, I gotta say, so this is the gameplay reveal. It's not a looker. Because you have to realize, like, this is the equivalent of, like, someone said, hey, what if we still kept making the PlayStation Vita version of MLB The Show and we put it on the Switch? That's about what you're getting. You're getting, like, PlayStation Vita 7 years ago kind of graphics. But you're not really buying... If you're buying the show, a, like, really fun baseball game, it's got a lot of career management stuff. It's a very solid game in general. But it's like, you're not buying this on the Switch to be like the looker. You're having it for that I want to play baseball wherever I am. It's not a cloud version. It's like a full-on port. And because there's cross-progression and cross-play, upload it to the cloud, you can play it on your PS5, you're on the go, upload it to the cloud, play it on your Switch, which is such a weird thing, but that's the world we live in. But I would say if you're interested in baseball, don't sleep on it if you want to have multiple versions, but at least for someone like me, I'm not going to play the Switch one, but it at least was a nice reminder of like, hey, I like that this series is now in more places, even though I'm not going to play this version. Which, speaking of that, hey, Kingdom Hearts, as the time of you, or I guess watching this, is now on Switch, cloud only. Everybody has said a lot about it. I've played it myself at this point. I've played all versions. It runs fine. I personally actually had no issues streaming everything from 1 through 3. It's fine. It's not the way I would ever play it. I'm sure people will, but it's like one of those weird ones of like, I'm glad it's there, but it's not going to do anything for me. So if you're experiencing it that way for the first time, RIP your wallet, but at least you get to experience some awesome games. Now, on the exact opposite side of hyped collections, oh my gosh, Klonoa 1 and 2 getting remade. I knew, again, something we knew was happening through leaks forever ago, but actually seeing it is so wild. I am a huge Klonoa fan. Like, before I even really knew what Namco was, like, Klonoa has always been, like, my favorite mascot character from that era. And what was really, it was just like, Klonoa was just so interesting of awesome music, awesome level design, and then Klonoa 2 being included is such a massive game that I feel a lot of people played Klonoa 1, very few people, I think, played Klonoa 2. I mean, like, Klonoa 1 even got the Wii remake, so this being something new, this again coming on everything, am I going to play this on Switch? No, I'll probably play it on PS5, but really excited. Please check it out. Klonoa is very special. Portal 1 and 2, I'm just going to say this, $20, that's a great deal. Check it out if you haven't played Portal 2. I haven't played Portal since PS3, I don't really need to go back, but Portal is still an amazing game. Portal 2 is one of like the best written games of all time. Cannot recommend it enough. 2 games, $20, really, really good deal. Oh, and also don't sleep on the co-op. And now you can do it on split screen, which you actually couldn't do on 360 or PS3. You had to do that co-op online. So that co-op is its own separate game. You're really getting like 3 games with that Portal collection. Portal 1, Portal 2 single player, and Portal 2 co-op is a completely separate experience. Alright, next up we have Live Alive, or Live Alive, or Live Alive, or Live Alive, whatever the heck you want to call it. All I'm going to call it is, again, wow, how is this here? I mean, I know, obviously, Nintendo and Square Enix are working together to make this. Nintendo's publishing it. Square paid somebody. We don't know who exactly is developing it yet as of me recording this, but this is an incredibly crazy game that is coming out so soon. It is a old school Super Nintendo game that never left Japan. And the fact that it's not only like, oh, it's coming out in English finally is crazy. It's getting a HD 2D treatment the way of like Project Triangle Strategy or Octopath or Dragon Quest III HD. It's like awesome. It's getting a dub, which is even crazier. And this is one that I'm like, I'm so amazed is coming out. I hope gets a lot of like press. It's going to retail for $50, which I hope it gets a lot of like press, because I think for the amount of work they're showing they're putting into this, I think it's worth it. But it's clearly not like a from the ground up game like an Octopath. So like it is still at its core. You can still see it is very clearly a Super Nintendo game, just like on crack. Everything I've ever played of it is really, really cool. I'm thankfully still spoiler free. The multiple times, the multiple characters, everything looks awesome. The whole team who worked on that, I remember, were just like so passionate on everything. And like reading interviews about this, it was always so heartbreaking this never came out in the West, and now it's coming out on the Switch. I think the Switch is a perfect platform to play something like this on, and just thank you, Nintendo and Square, for dumping money into this, because no one would ever expect this to come out, let alone get a remake. So July, please let me live alive. Now, next up is another one of, I in a million years did not think we were getting Wii Sports coming back, let alone did I think Wii Sports was coming back as Nintendo Switch Sports, which will be a live service game where they finally make Mii's not look horrifying. And this is a weird one. Like, I think everyone is, if you grew up playing the Wii, you have a lot of very different levels of nostalgia. I think it's either you love something like Wii Sports, or you look at it like, oh gosh, I wasn't a fan of that era. For me, I have so many positive memories of playing Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. Like, I never viewed them really as mini games. I always viewed them as like, man, these were really, really fun. I'm just going to say, the new games don't really do a lot for me. Soccer just kind of seems like slower Rocket League, slower, less exciting Rocket League. Hopefully that can get a little bit deeper. I'm excited that they're updating it with new modes. It's weird they're launching it without golf, but again, it's not a full-price product, so I kind of get it. If they keep updating this as like a free thing, I'm interested. Badminton with tennis, I think, is very, very funny. Like, I like that out of the 6 games, 2 of them are very similar Pong-likes. But yeah, bowling, having a battle royale thing online, like, I'm glad they're doing a beta for this, so the beta's going to be in like a week. I'm very excited to kind of check this out and try it all, because it's like, hey, if you knock this out, like, this is a really simple formula that you could keep updating, and if you did want to charge, it would kind of make sense. But volleyball, badminton, bowling, soccer, chambra, and tennis are really solid starters. Obviously, adding more other soccer modes, as well as having golf later in the fall, that's going to be huge. Hopefully, because obviously it's not a full price game, but you're still kind of expecting, I hope it still comes with more content than like even Wii Sports Club, the Wii U remake of Wii Sports. So excited, not instantly sold, but way more excited than I ever would have thought I would be for a Wii remake / sequel in 2022. Next up, we have a new Taitsu no Tatsujin, basically Taiko Drum Master. Looks great. They're always fun. They're on, like, everything. It's one of those games where it's like there's no lack of them, so I'm not really like, man, I'm jonesing for a new one. So I don't think I'll be playing this one. The track list looks great. The live service stuff seems really fun in terms of all the, like, songs. There's, like, 76 in general, but, like, there's hundreds if you want to sign up for the online thing of it. The weird one with me with Taiko is this, is, like, I love playing it so much in person that the console ones never really had as much fun for me, but I do like the portable ones. The PlayStation Vita one is the last console one I really sunk a lot of time into, but all the ones I've played in terms of the console ports, like PS4, Switch, and even the Xbox one that's on Game Pass, they're really, really fun. So Rhythm Festival, again, it's like really, really solid. Check it out. Thankfully, Nintendo did not forget, because we need more RPGs in this Direct. They give a shout out to Project Triangle Strategy, which I think was like honestly perfect, of just like, hey, here's a final demo, it's up to Chapter 3, it works all the way up into the full game, so you don't have to worry about missing anything. It's there if you want it. If you're not, don't worry, we're not going to spend a lot of time on it, because like they've talked a lot about Triangle Strategy. I'm really excited about it. I'm glad the demo's there. I don't know if I'll have time for the demo, but I will definitely be picking up Triangle Strategy day one. It looks amazing. I'm an avid hater of Octopath Traveler, so I hope that this one like resonates with me a lot more. Everything I played from the first demo has held up a lot stronger, so very excited. Cuphead DLC, I'll just say this, I have somehow still not played Cuphead, but the DLC looks amazing, and hopefully one day they will release Cuphead physically, which will finally slap me into action of playing it. Metroid Dread, cool they're updating it. These are not updates that I think are going to like get anyone to buy it, but will definitely get people to go back. A new easy mode and a new super hard mode. Really, really cool. Boss Rush is cool. Nothing that's going to get me to come back, especially just because how busy it is, but Metroid Dread, one of the best games from last year. If you've not played it, please play it. So good. So much fun. A lot of good bosses. A lot of good memories. Another weird one, I like Earthbound. I've played Earthbound on Super Nintendo. I've not played Earthbound Beginnings on NES. And I like that they're on the Switch Online. I don't look at Switch Online as something I have to own. Like, even the really, really cheap one, just because of how big my backlog is and everything. But I know there are a ton of Mother fans out there. I know there are a lot of people who want to try Earthbound. It's nice it's there. It's nice it's not hidden behind something. I'm not going to make the Mother 3 thing, obviously. They're really fun games. Definitely check them out if you want. But weirdly, like, this says a lot that when something like Mother 1 and 2 coming to the Switch is a meh announcement for me compared to everything else. Like, that's how you know this was just such a crazy, crazy show. And we're wrapping up. There's a sizzle reel. I will not be talking about the sizzle reel just because that's got a whole bunch of stuff. It varies depending on the region, blah, blah, blah. They ended the show on, like, the weirdest 1-2 hit. So, after so many years, literally almost 5 years after its Switch version is released, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is a Wii U game at its core, Mario Kart 8 is getting a new DLC update. It is getting 48 new tracks from this March all the way up until the end of 2023. It is only $25 for 48 tracks. They're going to be releasing them in 6 waves with 2 cups of 4 tracks on each cup. This is like the weirdest thing. Like, so I know there are some people I've seen kind of complaining about it because they're all just like old tracks now going to be in the game. But like for me, I just wanted more Mario Kart, and yeah, Mario Kart 9 would have been awesome, but this just kind of makes Mario Kart 8 Ultimate to me. And my only weird complaint with it is, like, I hope there's characters, but I feel like that's just kind of obvious that it will have characters, or maybe they'll make DLC characters or DLC customization stuff, but, like, honestly, at the end of the day, the tracks are really what matters most to me. So 48 tracks, $25, included with the expansion pass if you already have that. Crazy, crazy value. Crazy value, and again, something I don't think people are talking about enough. All of those tracks are going to have new music with all of them. And it's going to be amazing, and I cannot wait. Also, thank God we don't have to play Mario Kart Tour on phones to experience some of those really gorgeous stages. And finally, Nintendo wrapped things up with the most Spencer bait of all time by announcing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, releasing literally on my birthday month of September 2022. And yeah, I love Xenoblade. I love Xenogears. I love Monolith. I love all of the Xenoblade games. I was a super late adopter to them. I actually didn't play Xenoblade Saga until the 3DS version. So now that 3 is happening so much quicker than I think anyone would have ever thought. Because it's like crazy to think of 2017 when the Switch came out, we got in December Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The next year we got Torna. Then we've got the definitive edition of 1 with Future Connect, and now we're getting Xenoblade 3. So this trilogy is just perfectly there on Switch for you to check it out. And it's like, without even getting into, like, obviously talking about, like, story complications, characters, blah, blah, blah. This literally looks like the most graphically impressive Switch game I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what Monolith is on. I don't know what they're doing to NVIDIA. I don't know what Switch Pro footage they're showing us, but it looks amazing. It sounds amazing. The cast seems amazing. I am so excited. Obviously, you're either in or out, because it's Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's not like it's going to be somebody's first one. I will just say this. If you are even remotely interested in RPGs, pick up Xenoblade Definitive Edition on Switch. Play it. Play 2. Play Torna. Enjoy it all. Monolith does not miss. Amazing characters, stories, soundtracks, so much good Xenoblade goodness. I have rambled for way too long. I was like, this will be like a 10 or 15 minute video. I'm now on like the plus 30 minutes of recording. So if you sat through all of this and enjoyed my ramblings of everything and me freaking out because, oh my god, Chrono Trigger, oh my god, Klonoa, oh my god, Xenoblade Chronicles, thank you so much. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I have a whole ton of reviews that are going to be coming up. I should have 2 reviews next week for 2 big PS5 / actually no, 2 big like multi-platform games coming out. Please consider subscribing, share the video around if you like. Thank you, Nintendo, for the fun announcements and all the other stuff. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you loved. Let me know what you hated. Did you agree with me? Did you disagree with me? Let me know. I want to hear all your direct stuff in the comments below. And yeah, thanks for this. Have a good one, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, everybody.